Lovely. Right then, okay, so let's really break it down. We'll keep it easy to start with. Neutral position, lift up through the arches. That's really important for us today. You need to lift, draw up through the center of the body. And as we rise up through those arches, I want you to think about just the knees opening and the pelvis opening, which takes us into a butt tightening at the same time. Got it? Right. So whilst we're there, let's just warm up the feet with a handful of heel raises. And I've just got my hand on my hip, just so you could, there you go, so you can see me okay. Up and down, thinking about big toe, second toe, right the way through this bit. Big toe, second toe, arches lifted, feeling those knees just like spiraling out a little bit. Okay, and lovely. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to take one step back, right leg, about half a meter. Take your, let's try to get into the camera. Take your roller into your right hand and lean it forward. Push your right hip backwards. And then lift up and squeeze your right butt cheek because this will stretch out your psoas. So we're leaning backwards, so you get a stretch out of front and back hamstring. You're pushing back on the right hip, reaching forward on the right hand. On rising, I want you to keep the back heel down and really go long on your abdominals. Let's do that one more time. We lean forward, big stretch. Feel the stretch now in new places, armpit maybe. Feel the pressure into the heels. Stretch through the back of the thighs, rise up, squeeze butt, and push your right hip forward slightly. I don't know what that noise is. Okay, so I'm going to turn with my butt to you, so this will be fun. I'm going to put the roller into the center, and I'm literally turning 90 degrees, and I'm just rocking hips side to side to start with. Now I'm going to lean forward. I'm really sorry about the butt shot, but bear with. Okay, leaning forward, hands rested on the roller, and just rocking side to side. Arches lifted, and just start to feel that stretch that comes up into the groin. Okay, lovely. Okay, and then from there we stand, lift and lower. So we'll go 10, 9, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Into the right knee, drop your weight, push your bum backwards. Lift up, switch sides. Left side, right leg straight, drop into the heel, lift the arch of the left foot. Come back to center. Let's go deeper, right side. Push back through the buttocks, which is why I'm giving you all mass today. There you go, push back through the buttocks, the weight is into the hip, the pressure's off that knee. Rise up, last time to the left. A little bit deeper if you can. Rise up, well done. Turn 90 degrees. So now the right leg's in the front. The roller's in the front, left hand on the roller. We lean forward and stretch out left arm into roller. So you get a nice stretch through the hamstrings, back of the knees, heels down, arches lifted. And reach up. Now on the reach up, it is left bum cheek squeeze forward. So hips are squeezing forward. Okay, lower down and lengthen. So I'm really pushing through the left arm. And what I'm finding here is a stretch out of the elbow, back of the arm, back of the tricep, and into the lat. Rising up, clenching on that back left bum cheek, driving the left hip forward, feeling the stretch out of the front psoas. Last time, reaching forward, big stretch. Relax your knees, enjoy the stretch. And rise up, well done, come back to center. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is just think about a knee bend but toes lifted. So we might need to switch cameras for a sec. So what I'm looking for is a lowering down on your tiptoes a little bit, and then push the bottom out. So there's two moves here. One is to rise, bend knees, rise, heels settle, and you lean in. So this just tries to get a bit of opposing muscle actions around the knee joint. So up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, rise up, heels down, push back. Rise up, bend the knees. Now how low can you go? Rise up, heels down, push back. We're going to do this a few more times. Now I like the depth in mine because I know I've got the capacity in my knees. Also it gives me a massive stretch out my quads. So up, tiptoes, heels down, push back. And you might be feeling nice and warm now. Right, come back to center. Right, we're still standing, so I'm going to switch to upper body for a moment. So what I'd like you to do is just send your arms out wide and then send your fingers downwards for a second. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Okay, now from here, I just want you to take your hands upwards. So fingers to ceiling, and just do some little circles for me. So I've talked to you so many times around flossing when we flush the sciatic nerve. So chin down with it. Remember that flossing? Similar thing here. So I need your fingers pointing up to the ceiling. This will be quite a challenge in the arms as we circle. This will free off tension in the neck and shoulders. Switch direction. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades, like properly squeeze the shoulder blade with each roll. Now, from here, take your hands up to the ceiling. So your fingernails touch and then out to the side. Fingernails touch and out to the side. Okay, again, this should feel quite strong into the forearm and into the wrist joint, elbow and shoulder. So bear with. Well done. Okay, and then shake off your wrists. Come forward, palms to me. Same thing, we're going to come up and back. So this will involve opening up the chest. So hands forward, up and back. So we don't want to blow the chest open. We need to take it up and really allow still that knitting in the front of the ribs. But feel the stretch, and the stretch will come up through the upper, through the top of the chest. All the time, we've got that wrist flexion, okay? Okay, you might feel restricted a little bit in the shoulder, and again, that's kind of normal, but it's all weird fascia stuff. Okay, and then lastly, I need you to take your arms around to the back, let your thumbs touch, and bring them around to the front, palms touch. The palms, thumbs, palms, thumbs. Do that a handful of times as we progress it. So palms, thumbs, palms, thumbs. Now, the challenge bit is the wrap around, because sometimes we get a change shape in the collarbone. So now let's just work on hands low and just keep working through it. Now pick up your speed and work on a straighter arm. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lovely. One arm, circles. Now allow for that spinal rotation at the same time. Switch arms. So we're going open and back. So you notice I'm doing this quite quickly because I'm trying to build up heat as we do this. So we're nice and warm when we go into the roller work. We've got lovely room temperature dough instead of dough that's out of the fridge. Makes sense. Got it? Okay, so swing those arms, but watch. Elbows out. So swing 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Shake the shoulders off. Well done. Cool bananas. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Okay, so the mat rolls away with us, which cracks me up all the time. Right, coming down onto the floor. Kneel down, do whatever you need to do. Grab yourself some water, catch your breath for a second. I've got this thing at the moment where I really want to keep kneeling, just so I can really maintain that nice range in my knee joints. So we did this a couple of weeks back. I think we were in chaos when we were doing it. So I just want you to rise up, curl toes, sit down on heels, rise up. Can you see what's going on with the feet there? So my feet are very sore all the time. They just do my head in. But we can't avoid, we've got to keep working through mobility. And I know that if I'm experiencing it, then there's a good chance others are. Okay. Up, keep the toes curled under and just rest your hands on your roller. Don't worry about alignment at this point. This is more about just maintaining that flexion through your toes. Giving yourself a minute. Okay, now we wander backwards. The roller will stay directly under your shoulders. So that's part one. Which camera? Am I on the low camera? No, that's fine. I just changed my ankles. Okay, so your wrists are directly under your shoulders. So have a little play with this. You should feel the strain through the middle of your hand. If you're feeling it at the heel of your hand, your alignment's just off. So just come over so your weight's over the arch or the center of your palm. Okay, that's part one. Part two, curl toes. You know what's coming. Part three, brace through our center and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees down, relax feet, sit back, leave roller where it is, just sit back. I want you just to lift your hands, lift your fingers, sorry. Okay, fingers wrap, reset, feel the pressure and the weight over the center, the middle of your hands. Curl toes, catch your breath, exhale, lift, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Well done. Okay, so from here, keeping your hands in a narrow alignment, so the hands still directly under your shoulders. Bend the elbows and start lowering your body towards the ground. Breathe out and push away. So I know that I'm strong here, so I want you to think about your alignment with your arms, elbows. So I'm facing you now. Keep the elbows narrow. Allow your arms to keep brushing along your rib cage. Inhaling as you lower helps. Exhaling is the power. So breathing out on the up is the important movement here. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So this is a nice little bit of tricep work here, and you need that balance to counteract your lifted arm. Got it? Beautiful. Okay, so from here, what I'd like us to do is take the hands wider and then take your fingers around the edge of the roller. Got it? So this will look slightly different. So bear with me. Let me just show you the first one. click, click, click. So you can see I'm lowering my body and I'm just allowing my elbows to come out to the side, creating a lovely 90-degree angle with my elbows. Okay, got it? So this should feel slightly less stressful than the tricep and narrow arm placement. It's more about what's going on in the wrist and the elbow joint here. Okay. Last time, hold, curl toes. Now just take the pressure almost off your knees. Now I don't expect you to lift your knees here, but you can if you want to. It's more about that really strong core contraction here. And then release. Well done. Take your roller forward, stretch your palms forward, sit back in a lovely, lovely child's pose. Okay, big stretch. Focus on bottom towards heels and use your body power to push the roller away and push down on the roller. Keep looking downward. Don't look at me. Just now, at this point, start to really allow your body to relax and sink into that movement. See if you can get some extra depth in the child's pose. As I can feel that additional separation in my lumbars into my thoracic, I can just feel my lower back going. Stay there. Just maybe another 10 seconds. Stay there. Keep breathing. Well done, my lovely people. Okay. So now what we're going to do is sit on it. Okay, so left bum cheek on it, left knee on the floor, right foot on the floor, right elbow rests on right knee. So I should feel nice and you should feel nice and relaxed, okay? Part one, okay? So all I want you to do is think about starting to roll forward and back. And it should just start journeying over the, so Mary, see how you feel with this, because I'm not sure if it might make it feel a bit icky. Roll back and forward. It's just a gentle movement, but a little bit of pressure that goes over the hip joint. That lovely ball and socket where the ball sits into the bottom of the pelvis. So that's part one. And this is just starting to challenge the back of the hamstring, where the hamstrings start on your left side, okay? Now, from there, just roll forward a little on my wandering mat. Okay, from that, I want you to take your left hand behind. And now, when comfortable, start to get deeper into that movement. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Knees wide. When that happens, we're just firing into slightly different muscles. Knees up, it will feel different again, okay? So have a little play with it. Really take your time with this. Do not rush. The slower we do this, the more depth we can create and really get into scar tissue and into just those little sweet spots. But really take your time, be slow with it. Now, breathe. Breathe. Okay, now your back arm comes forward. So I want you to lean forward, put your left hand on the floor in front of you and continue to roll. And what you should be, where you should be now, is the back of the top of your thigh and then coming forward onto the top of your thigh. So it's almost like a little bit of the right starts to come into action here with the massage. You might be going over the bottom of your pelvic floor. Good. It's nice, isn't it? See, I can't always be cruel. I've got to throw in some nice stuff. Okay, so let's switch sides. While you're switching sides, I'm going to throw this mat away. Bear with me. It's getting on my nerves. Right, it's better. Right, so right side. Again, it's about your comfort. So I'm thinking about the pressure on my right bum cheek. And when we start this, right hand, right thigh, we're just gently rolling forward and backwards, nothing too onerous. So some of you might be feeling at the back a little. Again, for me, it feels different one side to the other. Is that your call? No. And then from there, take your hand behind you. So the right hand is on the floor behind you. And it feels slightly different. And have a play with it for me, please. So think about, what does it feel like if my knees are together? Think about knees dropped out. Which do you prefer? Which one are you avoiding? And again, just subtle movements. This is about your body and how it moves for you. The final of those moves was bringing that hand forward. So this changes things again. So it just slightly travels over your undercarriage. And taking your time with it, find those little sweet spots where you want to stay, stop, breathe. Good stuff. Okay, well done. And release. Okay, so now we're going to lie on the roller along the length of the roller. So tail one end, head at the other. I'll set up in that position first, and then I think I might have to adjust. You're going to go on the big camera. I am on the big one. Right. Okie doke. Enjoy. In the first place, feet wide. Allow your elbows and forearms to settle onto the floor. Use your breath work to allow the muscles to relax and that stability come into place, okay? So your feet are wide, your arms have got you, you're all right. But what I'm conscious of here is allowing those shoulder blades to feel equally wrapped around your roller. Okay, so now slide your hands as far forward on the floor as possible. So you'll feel a change in your shoulder shape. And then bend your elbow as you slide your hands up the carpet towards your head. So it's not actually moving very far, but it changes how your shoulders shape is forming and how your shoulder blades feel against the roller. So now I want you to finish with your elbows on the floor, elbows bent. And from here, you send your hands up towards the sky. See if you can keep your elbows on the carpet. Pop your hands down. Pop your hands up towards the ceiling. Notice where things change. So your hands are touching the carpet. Your elbows are bent at 90 degrees. You're trying to send your hands towards the ceiling. You notice that there will be restrictions. So try and relax off the restriction. And then settle your hands back down again. Does that make sense? I'm hoping I'm clear with the instructions here. Because there's a tipping point where your arms go, I don't like that. And then your muscles go, oh, it's okay. And then you could just take it a little bit further. Got it? Does that make sense? Okay, now leave your left hand on the floor in a nice stable place. Right side only comes up off the floor, all the way over, touches your fingernails, touch the carpet overhead, and then it comes all the way back down. And you're going to repeat that 4 times. And this is really about range of movement here. Be slow in the movement, allow the body to sink, allow gravity to do its work. Last time. and then we switch. I like that because I feel like it's stretching in places that I've ignored recently. Lovely. One more. Just keep turning things off if you think restrictions are coming into play. Just turn it off and then bring it back. Lovely. Okay, hands wide. We're going to bring up one leg and then the other. Here we go. So using your hands to balance. Okay, just feel your alignment. So 90 degrees at your knees, shaky, shaky spine. To challenge yourself further, you might want to close your eyes. Really feel this pose. Feel and hold. Take your awareness to your pelvic floor. Notice the tension where you're pulling inwards and upwards of the pelvic floor. Notice your hands, the energy in your hands to the floor connection. Take your right leg, extend it. Point through the toe, stretch out through the knee. Draw it all back in, breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now give me 4 more of these. I feel like we're at threshold. 3, 2, last time. Hold, separate knees, put feet down on the floor. Good, good, good. Okay, so we're just going to take the strain off there, the pelvic floor and the groin by taking your hands onto the floor, drawing your heels closer to your hands, so pulling your heels up. And now we're going to think about lifting the spine off the roller. Now, you won't lift that far. We have to work on squeezing through the buttocks to drive the hips as high as possible. Again, there will be a catch. There will be a point where you're like, you can't go any further. Hang on a minute, clench, and you can. So you really have to drive out of the heels when we're coming into a bridge on the roller. So think, drive through the heels to get the height, lay the spine back down, roll up, push, and then really drive. So you're feeling that energy out of the whole of the foot. Lay the spine down. Let's do that 3 more times. Each time, I promise you, you'll be getting higher in the lift. Really push through the feet. And down 2 more times. All the way up. Down. Last time. Oh, got cramp in my lats. It's a good one. And lower down. Well done. Well done. Okay, so move your hair out of the way. Take your hands at the back of your head. And I just want us to allow the elbows to splay wide and just roll side to side for a second. Probably an inch or 2 either side of your spine. This gets you in your upper traps. Oh, so you might feel a bit of pinch up at the top of your shoulder blades. Same movement, elbows to ceiling, still roll side to side. It will feel deeper into the back of the shoulder blade, into those traps. Elbows together if you can, chin lifted if you can. If you want to stay and just get into that sweet spot, please do. Lovely, lovely. And release. Relax your hands. Ah, okay. So straighten off your legs if you can. And just give me once again a little bit of a bottom squeeze and then relax. Bottom squeeze and then relax, let it go. And what you should get here is the hips being slightly higher than the heels. This just allows a little bit of a stretch through the front of the body. That's all right, isn't it? Hopefully nothing too onerous today. Okay, and when you're ready, gently dismount. Right, we're smashing through, aren't we? Okay. So I'd like us to what am I doing? Where am I going? Oh, recently I introduced to you a change. Well, start again, Helen. I've always taught diagonal pointer or pointer from a box position. So hips over knees, wrists directly under shoulders. So we've got into this movement, right? Yeah. Okay. But of late, I've been testing it by dropping the bottom towards the heels and generating the movement from there, because what it does on the non-moving side, the hamstrings have to fire in. So it's better for all around hip function. So what I'd like to do today is just change that bit up a little bit by using a block. So let's put block under right knee. Okay, so straight away you're going to be out of kilter. You understand that phrase. So if I just turn, which camera are we on? The big one? That one. Yeah. Okay. So we're at the kilter. So right knee on right block. So you should notice that my right hip is higher. So there's a bit of a twist going on. Okay. The second thing that goes on here is that we're going out into the leg lift on the left. So you have to follow me, Pat, on this. Yeah. Okay. So, and what we're looking for is firstly that balance. So you're having to work to get the left floating knee correct, work to get both elbows correct, lean back and into pointer. Okay. So it's more effort in balance. So we're pushing away quite speedily. And the right foot is floating off the block as well. So your knee has got the pressure, the foot is floating. You're really starting to work your hamstrings. Got a little bit of a heat on doing this. Okay. Push back. So it was about 20 of these I needed. So we've probably got 8 more from here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, really push, 3 and lengthen, 2, last time, well done. So you might have started to feel that around the back of the bottom. Okay, whew. Other side. Okay, so think about the alignment. Yeah, so if you have to just spend a bit of time just getting yourself set up, that's fine. So straight away, your left hip is higher than your right. So we need to float the right leg away from the ground, leaning back so the bottom is closer to the heel than it is over the knee. And we push 20 of these. So we're fully extended, keeping the weight equal and balanced through the elbows. Lovely. Really push and straighten out that knee at the top of the movement. Lovely. Both elbows nice and straight. Work those core muscles. Toenails floating. Well done. And release. Oh, it's like I got it in for you or something today, isn't it? Now, I said earlier on I'd like to do a bit of extension work. Grab some water. Give yourself a second. I've just seen a little drink with my name on it. Okay. So there is always an option to kneel up to perform movements. What I want us to do to start with is to lie on the roller. I know this isn't your favourite thing, but I want you to just use your elbows to take the strain, but just allow your ribs just to touch a little bit. And we're going to try and relax from here. And I want you to see if you can get your hips down onto the floor. So you might start quite strong in the plank-like position. And then as you start to feel a bit more comfortable, relax your shoulders. I gaze slightly forward and try and relax and melt the hips down as the muscles start to relax and let go. Now I've applied just a little bit of a wiggle jiggle as I'm trying to relax off the tightness in my back. Okay. Now from there, how do we feel about just rolling forward over the roller? Same thing, we don't like it, feels uncomfortable, quite restricted. So it's just allowing the body to feel a little bit of relaxation. So this creates space between the vertebrae. And let go. Next thing, this time, actually we won't use the roller. We're going to start with, from a box position, come forward into a 3/4. Arms strong, elbows locked, same thing. Let's see if we can just drop the hips. Can you feel the difference as we're just letting those hips sink? Open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, keep the arms straight. And push back. I think that's quite strong in terms of a fascia release. So we're going to give that another go and just work with it, because we will go into protection and don't like it as pain. So remember to use your breath. So start strong, out of box, into 3/4, hold that, and then just start to melt. Open up the chest. Well done. And then leave that. Good. Now, let's come on to our sides. Think about that lovely triangle position. Knees stacked for a second. Collapse into the shoulder. Okay. And then from there, press away from the shoulder. Part 1. Okay. Part 2, what we're going to do here, I'm just going to ignore my left hand for a minute. You're just going to open and close out of clam in seated position. So we start here. So this is it starting with the load here. So opening and closing, it's almost like the balls of your feet stay connected. The heel may move, that's fine. Okay, now we're not going to like this. Open and stay. And then I want you to try and see if you can bring that thigh to your chest. So it should be a small range of movement. Now for me, I've got clunk, 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 clunk. It's a small move. I'm out of clam, but I'm just working on opening up through the pelvis. And I can feel everything in my back clunking. 2 more. Last time. Then weight back into the hand, bring that top leg forward. So we're just seeing if we can just bring the heel, the left heel to the front of the right knee for a second. This was my 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock thinking. Now you've got the power of your elbow now. So what you can do if you want to, because it feels like you really, again, we're adapting where necessary. But I want you to think about just using your elbow to just gently open and close. And we've already released off the glute. We've already stretched out through the back. So I'm hoping that this doesn't feel too stressful for you.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, Siri says, I'm not sure I understand. It's Siri, I don't understand either ways. Okay, release, relax, push up, and then we switch sides. So first thing is about resetting. So can I get a thumbs up or down? Did you like that? What have we got? What's the response? Thumbs up or down? I think it's not. Right, okay. Right, so think about the reset. Ear to shoulder, push that away. Oh, crampage. Oh, I'll have to massage that out in a second. Right, so ear away from shoulder. Think about opening and closing without rocking onto your butt cheeks. Lovely. So that's not so bad, right? Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, there you go. Lovely. Last time up. Okay, now pull it in. Oh, that's really interesting. Range of movement on one side is phenomenally bigger than the other side. Whew. 7, 6, 5. Hello, obliques. Waistline. 3, 2. Last time, and then release. Okay, and we release by taking that foot forward to the front of the thigh, using your elbow. So it might be that it's here. Okay, so use your elbow and see if we can do a bit of nudging. This is called passive stretching. So we're just opening up the hip and just to allow the parts of your body to move that you don't probably are not stretching regularly enough. So you're using an external force, your elbow, just to get that bigger stretch. And that stretches gracilis and that, like where the hamstrings end, the quads start. So we've got some lovely little long, skinny muscles that are coming up from the inside of the knee, or from the groin to the inside of the knee. Okay, well done. And release and relax. Good job. Okay, you know always that we're going to do couple of guaranteed moves in this position. Firstly, it's about shoulders. Oh. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, I think I need some water. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is to put the bottom of your shoulder blade on the roller. Take your feet nice and wide, do what you need to with your feet, that's fine. And then I want you to just see if you can just melt around the top of the roller. That's part 1. Part 2 is seeing if you can just drift your arms overhead. Now, again, you might not like this, you might not want to do this. With a bent elbows and sort of clasping onto your opposite hands. That's a nice position, and a reduced range position. If you want to go longer, clasp your hands, because that fulcrum, that it's a bigger lever, and actually it's more intense on that stretch. Whatever you do, keep doing it. Give me another 15 to 20 seconds. And what you might find is that the muscles go, oh yeah. Right. Keep breathing. And it might be that your arms actually touch the ground overhead. Well done. And release. So if you're okay with that, we come up, we bend the knees. Okay, and then I want you once again to hold on to the back of the head, elbows wide, feet wide, lift bottom, just roll up the middle to top of the back. Do whatever floats your boat here. Again, notice any imbalances. Any nice clunks. Okay, same thing, elbows together, same massage. Oh, I might feel different. That's my spray gun shoulder. And release. Good work. Okay, lovely people. So from there, we're flipping over. We're going to roll out the front of the thighs towards the side edges and the inside of the thighs. Okay, so today actually what I'd like to do is start with the inside of the thigh. I'm going to show you something slightly different. You're lying on the floor. The roller is diagonal to you. So it's almost like you're almost coming into side lying, and you're going to kind of roll your thigh and leg over. Does that make sense? The nice thing about this, your calf gets involved, so your calf has a bit of a massage too. Okay, that's not so bad, right? Okay, let's repeat that on the other side. So coming down on your left side, roller comes in on your diagonal, and we're just rolling in and out. Take your body weight onto it if you need to. Oh, enjoy how that's feeling. You're welcome. From here, release. Woo. Roll out the quads, and then we'll come into some breath work. Okay, so again, start on the back of your mat. Start maybe around the groin, top of thigh. Now, if you are comfortable enough to go onto your pubic bone here, just a little bit of a sort of a roll side to side to side to side, and that helps to release the fascias that cross over around the pelvic area. Okay, and then we roll. So first one, feet wide. So we're rolling forward up the inner thigh. Suggest the slower we do this, the happier we will be. Ooh, that's making me warm. Get the window. Right, okay. Next, through the midline. So try to be straight onto your roller, and we're rolling from the center point of your kneecap up to the top of your hip. Or other way around. So start on the top of your hip and roll right the way down. Oh, I feel like that spray painting punishment is paid off there. Slower, better. Not necessarily more comfortable, mind. Okay, lovely. And then toes in, heels out. We're starting to work up the sides. Nice and slow. Okay, well done. We need to relax. And finally from here, as we did at the beginning of the session, child's pose, feet together, knees wide, stretch forward, use the roller. Press your wrists into the roller, and this will just help to release the back further. Well done. And release. Okay. Left hand on the roller, right hand towards the ceiling. Right hand comes down, feeds through, pop your shoulder onto the carpet. Oh. Now that should feel quite strong. We normally perform this movement, we don't normally do it on a roller. Okay, right hand onto the roller, left hand towards the ceiling for that stretch. Bring it through, get that shoulder down, right the way down onto your carpet. So we're increasing that range in that spinal rotation. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so bring yourself into a lying position or seated. Bit of breath work, and then we're done. Okay. So let's just start by catching your breath. Closing your eyes, slowing and calming your breath. Well done. Feeling that full expansion through your lungs. And noticing the breathing and expansion of your belly. Your mind wanders, just come back to those sensations of the lifting and lowering of your belly. With each in-breath, we're bringing in the goodness, and the calm, and the empowerment. We feel enriched. Focused. Topping up our levels. Okay, from here, we start to create some movement through our hands. Stretching out through our arms nice and wide. Pulling back on your fingernails. And really feeling that stretch through the forearm, palm of the hand. Take your hands high towards the ceiling if you're sat. And then entwining your fingers, pressing the palms away again. Reaching your hands out to the sides. Taking your hands behind you, clasping your back, clasping behind your back, opening your chest, releasing your hands and then giving yourselves a round of applause. Well done, lovely people. Woo!